and almost we'll just give a walkthrough of whatever we have covered yesterday, cases, and then now we have seen this what is that, the case escalation rules, and all those email to case and all those things we have seen. I'll just give a walkthrough of what is this contact and then the accounts. So contact is nothing but it is just contact or the user who is a part of the, could be a customer or could be a user who is using the application or anybody. So that is a contact. So when you come to service cloud, base is this case, and if you see each and every case also there will be a contact, though it is not mandatory. If we enter a contact, like who is a customer who has called for this particular issue, like that, if we know that, the contact name will be copied here. And then if it is an account as in like it is not a individual's issue. If the Airtel company itself is facing an issue opening their application itself, something like that, so there will be some contact person who has come spoken to us for that, so their name will be here and the account name will be Airtel, something like that. So these two are the other two entities which are main for the service console, and accounts and contacts not only for the service console, for sales, for the sales cloud, or for sales cloud, for service cloud, and then for experience cloud, for everything. These two are the main things. These two are the ones, and next is the reports. Okay, any idea what is reports? Yeah, anybody?
Yeah, reports are nothing but where we generate for a particular module and show them under dashboards.
Okay, right. Okay, so reports are nothing but just the collection of data. So now that if we see here, like, okay, we have a lot of cases which was created today, and we have a lot of cases which came in a week ago, but then where are we now? If a management, at a high level management, so now that sales call center people, and then a little above, kind of like supervisor, and they will be able to see the application, but at a very high level, probably to the CEO of the company, they don't want to come inside the application and then see how much cases are here, why there are 100 cases which are still open. I want to know how many cases was closed in a single day, or I want to know how many cases took more than 7 days to close. So all these questions could be coming in, where instead of going through each and every case and then see or take the report or download it and then Excel and then compare it, Salesforce provides an option of creating a report here itself. So what you have to do is just go to the reports, and you have an option called new report here. When you click on new report, first it will ask for the object name. Since that now we are all dealing with the cases, for any object you can case. Here also we are preferring the case objects here. So click on case and then click on start report. So by default, it will just give some field values. These are all the generic field values which will be displaying it. So we can, so based upon your requirement, you can just take up the fields. Okay, I'm just adding some filters, kind of like, I'm adding the origin. Okay, no, I'll add here itself the origin. Here in the group, I'm adding the origin. I'm bifurcating with the origins. So which means that with the phone as an origin, how many cases have come? With the origin as web, how many cases has come? So that level of detailing. If you remove the C, it will give the basic count alone. So this is the generic report. If you want in detail of what are all the fields, this, if you click on the detailed reports, it will show. So this report by itself provides all those data. You can also add a chart to it. So I'm adding a chart. So if the cases are there in phone, how much, and then in web, how much, like this. So I'll be saving it. Origin based cases. So now we are deriving it based upon the origin. So I'm just giving that name. this is how the report will be. So probably I'll try one more. I'll show one more with some other report. Go to the reports, create new report. So report as in like all whatever the objects which are there in the Salesforce application, you can get it in this report. So it is just a collection of data which is already there in the application in a graphical format or in the chart format. So that is what is a report. So I'm selecting case as in a service console. We are in the service cloud. We are directly dealing with cases. We are mostly dealing with cases. So by default, it will give some fields. If you want, you can have that. So just for the view, I'm removing few. Okay. We can even group by date. Today, how many cases were created? Yesterday, how many cases were created? Something like that. So any kind of see this report. It's a kind of like it. Any changes can be done in this. So, however, if you want with respect to case owner, for this case owner, how many cases are there? Like that way also you can do. So anything is feasible in this report. So to date, these many cases were created for this particular day. Like that, you can save it. Day-wise cases. So you can also add a chart here as well. So I'm clicking on add a chart. Okay, since only today's date the cases are there, it is showing with 1. So save it. So far we have created 2 reports. So one with the cases with respect to days, day-wise cases, and another one is a origin-wise cases. So similarly, with any field, this kind of grouping can be done, and a chart can be made. These two are the reports which we created. So any doubts in this reports?
Annapurni, in Sales Cloud, the lead follows a lead life cycle, right from the creation to closure. What is the life cycle of a case in Salesforce? Does it go through some stages until the case is closed?
Yes, I'll show you. Yeah, it is a good question. If you see any generic sales, first it will be in the initial stages of a lead, and it is getting converted to an opportunity. And once the customer is agreeing, it's a kind of like okay, quote will be given to them. And once the quote is established and when he has got it, he is becoming a customer. Directly he'll be becoming customer to us. So once he is become a customer, then we are delivering our product to them, and then he has become our inbuilt customer, where we start with a service for it. Similarly, for the service also, we have some process. If you see here, go to setup. In the home, you have something called support process. You can click on new. Okay, I'll put Vodafone process. Vodafone support process. So let us take an example of Vodafone customer care with the support processes. So these are all the things which we are selecting. That is, when a case is getting created, first it will be new and it will be going to the next working status and escalated and then closed. We are clicking on the same. So if there are any more additional values are required in your support process, you can add those in your objects. If you go to object, cases, so cases in that you'll have status. So in status you can add them.
Yeah, there could be cases like under dispute. It is neither open nor closed.
Yeah, right. So all those values you can add it. There is a similar one in this save service as well.
So currently we don't see anything in the available values other than these four, right? So how do we add them to the available values? For example, we want to reopen a case. So we need to.
Yeah.
So we
You have in the object manager, click on the case and go to fields and relationship. And in that, if you click on status there, if you come down, you'll be having case status pick list values. These are all the four which are currently available. We can add new. You can put it as under escalation.
Put under dispute.
Yeah. Under dispute.
Okay.
And since we already have the support process just now created, we can add here itself. There is an option which comes in. So if you click on save, it will be automatically added there. So now these two are there. You can reorder. I'm pushing the close to last. So here it will be displayed under escalation or under dispute. So
since we check that support process there, we don't need to again go and push it from the available to the
that's what when I was creating here itself, it asked me now whether it needs to be added in that. When I clicked on that, it got added. If I'm not clicking, it will not get added. Then we have to manually
change it and then check that.
Yes, right. So Salesforce generally what they have done is like it is interlinked. Everything is interlinked. So when since you have added here already, it will automatically ask when you are creating.
Okay.
If you are creating it new, if there is a new support process which you are creating newly, then you have to add everything manually. So further here the status will be visible, so you can add on for all your things, all your cases.
Okay.
Yeah. Any queries on reports?
Can I choose more than one object for reports?
More than one object, yes, you can choose. Where how it will be is case with account or something like that. I'll show you.
There will have a report type will be there. So from there we can have a report type and we can.
See if you see here, opportunities with products. These are two different objects. And product with opportunities. Case with asset, yes, it is feasible. And if you're adding any new custom object also, it is feasible where you need to add it in the report type. You have something called report type here. So in this report type, you just need to enable for that new product, new object, whichever you are adding. If you enable that, it will be visible.
So practically all the fields of both the reports will be available to me for picking up for my report, right? One object may have 8 fields and another object may have 10 fields. I may choose out of the 18, I may choose say 10 or 8, whatever required. So all the things will be available to me. You showed me the report, how to organize the report. In that it will come, right?
Yeah, it will show.
Okay, okay.
To show the object name, it will show object name, then followed by a field name, it will be showing it. You can add it.
Okay.
And the complete report will be covering under the admin part will be covering. So here what Annapurni is trying to see is show is what are the reports you can create, but how to create a report, how to create a report types, those things will be covered in the admin part. So in the admin only they will be doing, right. So in the admin session will be having a separate topic on reports. There we will have the detailed thing. What are the chart we can currently we have shown only one chart, right? So we can have different type of chart is also there. So that also will be covered there.
Thank you, sir. It was some basic question I asked. I understand.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's okay. So this was specifically with respect to the yes, but as you said, for every object it's feasible.
Hello.
Yeah.
Can we render the real-time data in the reports? In the
I
sense
guess
of
yes. Anand, correct na? Reports will be real time data, right?
Yeah, real time data only. Yeah.
Yes. Dashboard
it
is
will be
not real time one.
And
Reports
runtime.
are always real time.
okay, if I create a new approach, it will be guide reflecting in my process.
Sorry, there's a lot of noise. Okay. Okay, I'll just give a brief about dashboard as well. Okay, what is dashboard? Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
So if I create one account, so it will render to my report and as well as in the dashboard in real time.
Yes, it is feasible. Reports is real time. Dashboard is not a real time, but you can make it real time if you need it. Like you have to manually refresh it. Dashboard is not a real time.
How to do it?
Einstein is a real time. You have something called Einstein Analytics. So that is another licensed tool.
Mhm.
That is a real time. Whereas the dashboard here, which you are seeing in the screen sharing, that is not the real time. It generally has a 24-hour refreshing. But if you need, you can just go and click on a refresh to see that immediately. Okay, so just moving to dashboard. Okay, what a dashboard is whenever there is a case is created. Now so many we saw that there were case escalations, so there were so many case escalations has happened. Okay, now as a manager, I've been receiving 3 case escalations yesterday, and day before yesterday 5 case escalation. What is this? Daily I'm receiving case escalation. How many escalation I need to know for the last month? So this is a generic report which a manager might be in need of. So when such cases are coming in, we can create a dashboard. So what is okay? How you want to create dashboard is just go to dashboard, create new dashboard. So whatever the reports which you have created, those will be appearing here. So I've created a dashboard. It is nothing, just a look of like how the data which you are going to see will be looking like, something like that. So here in this dashboard, what we will be doing is, just now we created 2 report types, right? So those 2 report types will be adding it here. So there's a button called widget. So just click on that, chart or table. We created day-wise cases. Just add that, click that, select, and you can give any mode of pictorial representation. Like I'm giving this kind of like pie chart one. I'm adding it here. So it will show day-wise cases, how many are there. Last month 2 cases has been opened, and this month 26 cases has been opened, something like that. Now there's another wicket which we created, that is origin based case. So for this also,
Report can get all the data. Report can get all the data and filter data, and the dashboard will be only show the data as per their views and display as what do not or correct.
no, can you come again?
Report are nothing but we have to store data as per our filtration and sort purpose, and dashboard can be show as view our data, how we can
Yeah,
show
it's a
data as do
pictorial
not.
representation.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
filtration.
The dashboard is nothing but the report which we created only we are showing here in a pictorial representation from the management's point of view, how much is there and what is the need. Last year how many cases was closed, this year how many cases are closed. So we'll be able to identify why why there is change, so much change, why so much cases was created all of a sudden, something like that. So now those 2 reports which I created, I have just added here. So these origin based cases, like for phone this many, and for key this many, and if you see here from the date wise, from this date this many cases, something like that. So we can just save it. Okay. So to set this is so this is not a real time one, where whenever we are creating it will be added, and when you click on subscribe, here you will be able to subscribe on on when, and see it will obviously show here this is the time which it got last refreshed on. So it is not a real time. Dashboard is not a real time. If you want it, you can just click on this refresh. So when you click on refresh, it will immediately add the data and it will show up the remind time, recent refresh time. And if you want it in a daily basis in your email, you can just click on the subscribe and then you can add as well on which frequency you need it so that it will be sent. Okay, that's all about dashboard and report as part of the service cloud. Any queries in this?
Annapurni, if a company involved in selling white goods, say at all India level, if they buy the enterprise license, both the sales cloud and service cloud are bundled in the enterprise license, or licensing should be done separately, because every white good involves from installation to maintenance services.
Okay, generally any edition whichever they are choosing, the license will be separately because it is all the cost related thing which Salesforce is dealing with, right? So they generally charge separately for that. But again, it depends customer. If the customer is like very huge and demanding customer, and if they have huge data which Salesforce thinks that they could be their future opportunities, then they may even give it in a reduced rate, because the price and the license, it purely depends upon each and every customer. They don't have any fixed rates or they don't have any fixed plans for these things.
No, my question is, my doubt actually is that this services cloud, whatever you showed, it can be independent of any company which has licensed product for sales actually. Okay, any company. Airtel may not buy your sales cloud, but they may buy your service cloud actually.
Yeah, right.
That is what is my question now. This is when
okay, without sales, they wanted to buy only service cloud, something like that.
Yeah, ideally, because it is completely taking care of the customer support processes actually.
Yeah, right.
Any industry typically, from case new to closed, it takes care. Okay, but a company which is buying sales cloud for retail sales, white goods typically, service is inbuilt into their sales actually.
Okay.
So, general question, maybe Anand or somebody can answer.
I have shared you the price list, right? There, if you go there, you will see there for each license type what are the things will be covered. So I have shared the link, right? So if you go there, you can check on that. So for each license type, for starter suite, what will be the thing? Enterprise, unlimited plus then Einstein one sales. So each thing will they have given a list of things what will be covered under this license. So we can go through that thing and we can
Anand, I perfectly understand, Anand. I will. This is the information I wanted. It is separately priced, and one can choose to buy or not choose to buy depending upon the requirement. That's what.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
They don't want to bulk. They won't be giving it. So everything is a package. So whatever thing we need, we can add it as an add-on.
Okay. Thank you, Anand.
Okay. I think I have shared the price list. So if you go through all the things, what are the features that will be covered, right? It will be there.
Okay. Any other queries in this dashboard and overall dashboard reports?
Yes. How to do the real-time data? How to do real-time data in dashboard? If time permits.
In dashboard, it is not feasible. So instead, you have to go for Einstein Analytics, or if you want to real time, as in like if it is on a specific time, you can give it in the subscribe and then give it that specific time, kind of like daily at 11 o'clock if you need that. So that every 11 o'clock it gets automatically refreshed and you will get a report, or you can come here by 11 and then otherwise.
I will start.
Here, how can we add the list of recipients for those only we need to share those emails, like the dashboard email.
List of recipients, I guess for that you need to put it in the public folder, I guess. Let me check.
So only for the particular list of users, this dashboard email has to be sent.
The users should be part of your Salesforce application. Only for them it will be sent.
Okay.
It should be in the public folder. I guess now I put it in the private folder. Let me check.
For example, we have 5 users in our org. So only I want 2 users to be viewed by this dashboard. Like I need to send this
Understood.
dashboard
Yeah,
to
it is
the
feasible.
users.
It is feasible.
So where we need to add those recipients emails.
Yeah, I'll show you.
The thing is, if you go into that folder, right, folder level, you can share that particular folder. Whether it is going to be a particular individual user, or you can give it to a particular team, there is a particular group, you can have it.
Okay.
Yeah, now I have put
The group folder, right? If you right click on the end, you will have the sharing will be there. So from there you can share it.
Okay. But here, but in subscribe we have that option, right? Receive email notifications.
Here, if you see, I had created a new folder called common now. There you'll have to add here. At the corner there's a share. So here you have to add which are all the users who need access to this.
So now, if I want to create different folders, then I have to create different folder, and
Yeah.
okay.
Yes, right.
Annapurni, just to understand it better, reports are real time, dashboards are not. That is
Yes.
sum and substance of your
Right.
session, present session, right?
Yeah. Yeah, right.
But it will you can refresh, the button is there, you can refresh it.
Yeah, I understand. It's on demand. It is on demand.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll just move
First, I
on.
know there is something analytics.
Mm.
What is about that? Like in dashboard.
Einstein Analytics. So, okay, it is altogether it's a different licensed version. So similar will be there where here that we are able to click on that and then we are able to what's count. There we'll be able to it will in the in the view itself it will show what are those cases and all those things. The view will be totally different. Currently I don't have that to show, but you can just Google out and then see Einstein Analytics.
Perfect.
It's a different license itself. It's a graded version of this dashboard.
Yeah, understood.
And one more thing, if you here itself, if you click on below, we are having link, right? If you click on that, you can go into that report.
Yeah, here there is a report, or if you click on this also, it will show you the data.
The benefit of the dashboard is the pictorial representative, and we can have multiple report in a single screen. So as a management, or as a director, who is going to be there, right? They will see the high level only. So if they want the breakup, they can go into the report. But overview, they can go and see, okay, what is the sales happened, what is the how many cases are there, how many these are there. Just they can have a one screen, they can see all the activities.
Okay, so next I'll move to some omni-channel. So, okay, omni-channel technically, what it means is it actually represents the chat options and then calling options, probably a CTI or the bot and then the chat. These things. So these are all the ones which we are using it in the real time in many of the service-based applications where you see a chatbot will be enabled where we will be able to ping them and then get the immediate response. And if the bot is not able to respond, it will direct it to some agents. So that Salesforce is also giving us an option to enable that feature here. So how you have to enable that is in your setup, you have to go click on omni-channel settings. You have to enable that. So if you enable that, after that further, in your setup, you have something called service home setup. There you'll have recommended setup. In that, if you click on omni channel, it will just give the options. So there you can choose that. So after choosing this, like what exactly this omni channel, what are the things which it is providing as is, assume that we are an Airtel customer. So what we will do, we will call the Airtel customer care, and when we are calling them, okay, leave about calling. So since this is all about chatting, so we will be, there is a bot where we are chatting with them. If you see there is an Airtel app where we will be directly dealing with their customer care, we'll be pinging in the chat window there. So what happens? So it will just assign to some agent. First, it will just give a bot, say that okay, what do you need? Are you looking for an invoice, or are you looking for your balance amount, or looking for your outstanding balance? Your prepaid means like do you want to recharge? These are all the default FAQs which will be defined already. So same thing here also it is provided, where initially just as a first response, we don't have much of the bot facility as of now, but then yes, that is also feasible with some third party applications. But as of now, with the system defined out of box functionality, we'll be able to, when someone enters in and then someone gives the enters their data in their initial screen, giving their name and then giving their email ID and then click on start the chat, immediately a bot message will be thrown showing that welcome to our customer care, we'll be reaching out to you in few seconds, something like that. So now what is happening at the back end, that is what is a technical part which we will have to work on. So what will happen is, like, where first it will see who are all the responsible active customer care people, customer care chat people who are available. So for that, there is an option here itself where active users and inactive users are there. So those will be enabled. If those are checked in, like people whoever comes in and they are starting in their for their work, they'll be logging in, right? So their activity will be marked as, it will be enabled and they'll be as an active. So once it is active, system will identify who is active and then it will be assigned to them. And additionally, we have something called queues. As you guys are aware of queues, yesterday also we learned what is queue all about. It is just a collection of users. So similarly here we can have some queue names where in the queue, okay, say for example it is a broadband customer, or it is a prepaid customer, or postpaid customer, something like that. And who has to deal with it? Okay, Annapurni and Anand, these two are the persons who are expert in postpaid, so let them be in the postpaid queue, something like that. So my our two names will be there in that queue. So in that way the queue will be designed. So now what a chat will do is, so first is the initial bot will be giving us an input, okay, welcome, we'll be reaching out to you, something like that. And we also have an option to set our configurations where there is a time alert. So customer has commented saying that ma'am, I'm not able to make any phone call to this particular number, whereas to my other Geo numbers it is calling, but to the Airtel numbers the outgoing is not going. This is a message which she has entered in the chat. Now we have to check our application, okay, if there are any issues in that, like that. So but for that, if it is taking time, we can set an alert saying that within 30 seconds you should respond back to the customer. If not, I'll be receiving a pop-up message in the chat window itself. Your SLA of response time is moving. Please respond to the customer, so that at least the customer care will be responding back saying that, ma'am, I'm still looking into the issue. Please hold on and give me half an hour, half minute more, or 1 minute more, something like that. So that level of setting is also feasible in our application. And then closure of chat for non-responsiveness from the end customer. So we have asked for some data saying that, ma'am, this is how you have to set up your system, where you have your, in your, go to the settings and all those things you have to set up. So for example, we have just mentioned that comment in the chat. So the user has to do that and then respond to us, or they have to respond saying that, okay, we'll do. If they are not responding for quite a long time, there is no use or no point of us keep waiting in the chat and wasting our time and wasting either of this time. So we can set a closer limit also, where if there is no response from the customer for more than 2 minutes, the case will be automatically closed. And the best thing is, whatever the chat, even if they enter hi and then if they are closing it by default, it will be converted into a chat. It will be converted into a case. So these are all the settings which omnichannel and which our Salesforce application already provides. And additionally, from the customer care point of view, we can also set the limit the number of chats, that is number of incoming chats per person per minute, or per 5 minutes, something like that. Also, we have an option to set all those limits. And then yeah, it will if say now that any new chats which they are pinging, automatically a case will be created. If a particular customer has a case created, probably a case was created 2 days back, but then again he is pinging asking for whether the case is not resolved, something like that. In that case, if the user see, usually when they are logging in, when they are starting, before starting the chat, they'll be entering their email ID and then the mobile number or their name. If whatever the options which you are giving, if those options are same as their case number, which was already created, system will not create a new case. Instead, it will open an existing case, so that we will have the history of what has happened already with that particular customer and with the internal user. So you'll be able to see entire chat details, and then we can respond back. So these are the options which Salesforce provide by itself. So we have to explore that, and all these we have to configure. All these are there available. Just how we configure everything, like case escalation role, everything we have to configure all these things as well. And then now the next thing is skill based routing. So what is the skill based routing? Say, let us take an example of Airtel itself. If people from Tamil Nadu, if they are the one who are pinging in, who are chatting in for their query, it should be addressed to the people over Tamil Nadu or people over here who can understand Tamil. So that if they are typing in the way of understanding, or even see whatever things here, it also varies depending upon the location. So based upon that also, it is a kind of skill. The language is a skill, and then the region, and then it could be a part of a department. If they are into postpaid, if their issue is on postpaid, we have to route it to the postpaid chat team, because there is no point some other team who is wasting their time looking into it, and then when it goes to another team, by the time the end customer will get irritated, how much time they have to repeat or how much time they have to wait for getting this address, something like that. So thereby, that's why the skill-based routing technology came into picture, where we'll be able to define, okay, what is a skill which has to be defined. Okay, if, say for example, Annapurni, I am an expert in this language and I am taking care of this prepaid, and I am so that all my names will be covered as part of those skill sets. So that way, Salesforce provides an option to deviate the customers into the specific skill-based routing. So, and also one more thing, customer care availability. So based upon the users availability, say for example, there are only three customer care users who are there online in chat. If I'm already chatting with some other person, my status will not be active, whereas it will be in a busy mode, or it will be work in progress mode, something like that. So it will check whoever is available. Based upon that availability, it will just route it. So these are all the routing configurations which we have to take care. Yeah, this is how we'll be defining the omni-channel, kind of like skill based. We can name it as, okay, he's a mechanical department, or he's from a postpaid, he's from a tower issues, he's from the field service, something like that. Okay, another thing is the supervisor level configurations. So for any team, it has to be headed by some leads. So similarly, when a supervisor is viewing it, what are all the facilities which as a supervisor he'll be getting it. He'll be able to see what are all the chats which has been done by his team, and he can open that and then go into that chat as well. And then if there are any escalations where the team member is going on, sometimes if you remember, we also, when we are calling our customer care, we used to say, I'm not happy with your response, please forward to some other supervisor or forward to some other person. In that case, in the system itself, they have an option called address it to the supervisor, supervisor's assistance needed, assistance to supervisor, those kind of buttons are all available. You can configure that. So when you click on that, automatically, if the supervisor is available, a supervisor is also a user again, his status also should be active. If it's available, immediately the call will be transferred. By the time the call is getting transferred, all the chats and everything also, I'll be able to see it in the application itself, in the right bottom. So the supervisor will be able to take up the call and then proceed. If you guys could remember, when this usually happens at Airtel and Vodafone, generally in the mobile application or even the broadband, generally the telecom application, they do these things. They will not ask us again and again what is your issue. They already have everything in their application. In just a fraction of a minute, they'll just read through that, what is there, what was given in the chat in the previous line, something like that. So this will add a value to the customer, because already when it is a service which means the customer is not happy, that is why we are calling them. In that case, we cannot keep asking a customer, okay, can you please tell me what is your issue? If you ask this for 10th time, people will get irritated. So already some data the customer has provided. We have also captured the data in the application. So system provides us an option to view that so that the further process will be easier. So this is all about this omni-channel thing. And any queries in this? Actually, I'm done from my end. If you have any queries, we can go through it.